Imagine this. You're handed a sleek, black, no-limit credit card by a billionaire. The instructions are simple. Go wild for 24 hours. What would you do? Where would you even start? This isn't a fantasy. It's the insane social experiment we're about to dive into. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're exploring one of the most mind-bending what-ifs ever. We're breaking down the psychology, the strategy, and the sheer chaos that would unfold if you had unlimited funds for just one day. Would you buy a fleet of supercars, a private jet, or would you try to change the world? Stick around, because we're going to unpack every single possibility. From the ludicrously luxurious to the profoundly impactful. This is what really happens when a billionaire gives you their credit card. First things first, let's get the obvious out of the way. The initial moments would be pure, unadulterated shock, followed by a tidal wave of adrenaline. Your brain would be firing on all cylinders. What's the first purchase? You might think big, like a mansion, but wait. Real estate transactions take weeks, even months. You only have 24 hours. So, you'd have to think liquid, fast, and of value. This is where the fun really begins. The first stop for many would likely be a luxury car dealership. Picture yourself walking in and saying, "I'll take one of everything, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Rolls-Royce." Why not? You could technically buy the entire inventory, but then comes a logistical nightmare. Where do you park a dozen How do you insure them all instantly? Suddenly, the dream gets complicated. The smartest move wouldn't be just buying things, but buying things you can immediately possess. This leads us to the second phase. The luxury goods blitz. We're talking Fifth Avenue, Rodeo Drive, Bond Street. You'd storm into high-end jewelers like a hurricane. $1 million watch. Add it to the cart. A flawless diamond necklace. Yes, please. You could buy so many designer clothes that you'd need a separate moving truck just for the shopping bags. This is the stage of pure, unadulterated consumerism. It's about experiencing the kind of lifestyle you only see in movies. Private shoppers would be assigned to you. Champagne would be flowing, and every store would roll out the red carpet. You could even charter a private jet for a quick shopping trip to Paris or Milan. Remember, time is your only enemy. The goal is to maximize the value of your haul before the clock strikes midnight. You'd be buying not just for yourself, but for everyone you know. Friends, family, even that nice neighbor who always says hello. Everyone gets a Rolex, but after a few hours of this, a strange feeling might start to creep in. Let's call it purchase fatigue. There's only so much stuff you can acquire before it starts to feel a bit empty. The thrill of each new purchase diminishes. You've bought the cars, the jewels, the designer wardrobe. Now what? This is the critical turning point in our 24-hour journey. Your mindset would likely shift from personal gain to something bigger. You'd start thinking about impact. How can this incredible power be used for good? This is where the truly creative and life-altering decisions come into play. You have the financial might to solve real-world problems, at least on a local scale. You could walk into a hospital and pay off the medical debt for every patient in the emergency room. Imagine the relief and joy that would bring. You could go to a local animal shelter and fund their operations for the next decade, ensuring every animal gets the care it needs. This philanthropic phase is where the billionaire's money could do the most good. Think about it. You could buy a struggling local business and give it back to the employees. You could fund scholarships for an entire generation of students at a community college. You could purchase a plot of land and donate it to the city to be turned into a public park. The possibilities are endless. And here is the interesting part. These acts of giving would likely bring you far more satisfaction than any sports car or diamond watch. The emotional return on investment would be immeasurable. You're not just spending money. You're changing lives. You're creating legacies. This is the power that billionaires wield every single day. And for 24 hours, it's yours. You could set up foundations, create endowments, and plant financial seeds that would continue to grow long after your time with the credit card is over. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty strategy. To truly maximize this opportunity, you'd need a team. You couldn't do this alone. Your first calls would be to lawyers and financial advisors. You'd need them to set up trusts and charitable foundations on the fly. You'd need them to navigate the complex legalities of making massive donations and purchases. While they handle the paperwork, your job is to be the visionary. You'd be direct in the flow of capital. You could prepay rent for 100 families on the brink of eviction. You could buy out an entire grocery store and have all the food delivered to local food banks. You could even invest in promising startups, becoming an angel investor overnight. You'd want to focus on things that create a ripple effect. For example, instead of just giving someone a fish, you're buying them the entire fishing fleet and a distribution company. Let's also consider the darker side. With this much power, the temptation to do something reckless would be immense. Could you crash the market for a specific luxury good by buying up the entire global supply? Could you buy a politician? Well, let's not go there. The point is, the experiment reveals character. It shows what you truly value. And let's not forget the bank. At some point, the fraud detection systems would go absolutely haywire. Your phone would be ringing off the hook with calls from the bank's security department. Sir, did you just attempt to buy the Eiffel Tower? Of course, the billionaire who gave you the card would have pre-authorized this activity, but it would still create a logistical whirlwind behind the scenes. The sheer volume of transactions would be a stress test for any financial institution. It'd literally be a walking, talking, economic stimulus package. As the final hours tick down, a sense of urgency and perhaps a little sadness would set in. The magic is about to end. What would be your final purchase? This is your grand finale. Maybe you'd buy something deeply personal, like your childhood home, preserving it for your family forever. Or maybe you'd make one last monumental donation. You could fund a scientific research project aimed at curing a disease that has affected your loved ones. Or perhaps you'd buy an entire forest to protect it from deforestation. Your final act would be your closing statement, the thing you'd be remembered for in this crazy 24-hour saga. It's the purchase that defines your entire experience. As the clock strikes midnight, the card turns back into a useless piece of plastic. You're left standing amidst a whirlwind of new possessions, charitable deeds, and life-changing experiences. So, what's the aftermath? You'd wake up the next day in a world you've fundamentally altered. You might have a garage full of supercars, a vault of jewels, and the deeds to several properties. But more importantly, you'd have the memories of the lives you've changed. The news would be buzzing with stories of the mysterious benefactor who paid off hospital debts and saved local businesses. You'd have to deal with the logistics, the taxes, and the sudden fame. But you'd also carry the knowledge of what it's like to have unlimited power, even for a day. It's an experience that would change your perspective on wealth, happiness, and purpose forever. It proves that the greatest luxury isn't owning things, but having the ability to give, to create, and to make a positive impact on the world. So, what have we learned from this hypothetical journey? First, that 24 hours is an incredibly short amount of time to spend an unlimited amount of money effectively. Second, that after the initial thrill of personal indulgence, the human desire for purpose and connection takes over. The most fulfilling use of wealth is often in service to others. And finally, it's a powerful reminder that while we may not have a billionaire's credit card, we all have the ability to give in our own way. Whether it's our time, our skills, or a small donation, we can all make a difference. This thought experiment isn't just a fantasy. It's a mirror that reflects our own values and aspirations. Now I have to turn the question over to you. The billionaire's card is in your hand. The 24-hour clock starts now. What is the very first thing you would buy? And what would be your final, grand finale purchase before time runs out? Drop your answers in the comments below. I can't wait to read your incredible ideas. This has been a wild ride, and I hope it sparked your imagination as much as it has mine. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the ultimate what, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.